whenever I say my option is in the water, what do I mean by that? My option, stock option is in the water.
Money?
Hmm?
Money?
In the money or out of the money?
The money means you make money.
You make money. If my stock is
Underwater?
in underwater.
That means you're losing position.
Yeah, if you exercise, you lose your money. So, in other words, a current stock price is lower than strike price. So my option is underwater. If I say my stock option is in the money, current stock price is higher than a strike price, exercise price. That difference will be my income if I exercise. Can you exercise right now? No, until it is vested. For vesting top manager, you need 5 years, at least 5 years of service period. Long-term compensation contract. Near-term, cash bonus, or this, short-term. So a combination of those items. What this has to be changed. I mean, yes, that permits until December 15th. 2 more months. Period. The end. Yeah. Well, module 6 is a continuation of module 5 because we are still talking about measurement of earnings and operating assets.
Try it again. This happens to me a lot.
Yep, F.
Just try it.
And try again. Thank you.
Well, don't thank me yet.
He just erased it, right?
At least you got some PowerPoint slide, yeah.
Just a processing fee. There we go.
Good.
You're welcome. Thank you now.
See, we already talked about account receivable and inventory or not using account receivable valuation allowances. That case is a prime example. So here is a continuation of module 5. So receivable first allowance for account in net realized value gross minus allowances. So we know that is a net realized value. And a few sessions back, I talked about the different valuation approach to each different item in balance sheet, right? Each item in balance sheet is subject to different valuation techniques. So here, account receivable will be net realized value, which is gross account receivable minus allowance for doubtful account. So here for a Cisco, out of this is a net off. So they are expecting $207 million bad debt allowance. So total gross account receivable is sum of these two. Out of sum of these two, 207 will not be collected according to their estimation, which is 0.5%. No, more than that. About 5%. I don't know. I'm not thinking clearly now. If you divide this by that is about 4.7%. About 5%. Yes, good. This is how much they are setting aside. Let's take a look at this one. This guy. This was a topic back then. Over 2-year period. In other words, 2002, 2003. 2002, they set aside allowance 570, and percentage of gross allowance 19% will not be collected. But 2003, they say, okay, half of that, 10%, and allowance is half of this, less than half of this. For the similar account receivable. So if you change from 517 to 256, journal entry will be debit, allowance of 250 some dollars, $50 million, credit, that's the expense, $250 million reduction, increase income, 250, because other than this Notel company Notel is not telling. That's why it's a Notel. Other than this, so they are saying, well, make your guess, educated guess. This see, pre-tax income $250 million each with one shot. Now they are out of business. They are under pressure to report a lot of pressure before they finally went out of business. So, how much of cookies are they reserved in this year? $250 million. So cookie jar is not my problem. it's a SEC chairman's problem, and everyone is losing. So I'm losing. Now, well, this is an extreme case, right? It happened. So what is your excuse again? If you are CFO of a motel facing a press conference 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, what would you say? They will ask you.
Economy is getting better.
Economy is better. And I'm very positive about the collection of this, and all of a sudden economy is
And
our
all our clients
assessment.
are making more money, so they're not gonna step.
So 100% improve overnight, over year.
So it's gonna better the economy.
No, they overestimate.
Oh, last year,
Yeah,
we are
last
too
year.
Yeah, it's
pessimistic
better.
last year. We are revising that, yes, yes.
That's a better
Yeah,
story.
these two explanation will be the, I guess, best that we can say in that case. Actually, this is actually happening. That's why I wanna show a 207 million here. We all know aging analysis. How we get fresh account receivable. 98% of the time you collect, so 2% of fresh account receivable. If anyone didn't pay over 2 months, the uncollectible percentage is 3%. If someone doesn't pay more than 3 months, that percentage goes up 8%. So based on my experience, you multiply this. This is the aging schedule. Aging schedule is this. You increase in percentage. This will be uncollectible account, debit, bad debt expense, 2,900, credit, allowance for the upper account. That's the aging approach. And loan receivable, same thing, aging approach, loan for bank. Disclose amount of uncollectible account, either face on the balance sheet or the footnote. If they are not comfortable about this estimation, they will always go to footnote. See the detail disclosed by Gap. That's the footnote. Your accounting policy with respect to a receivable for sure, and we already know a accounting for this. We current asset section. Current asset section will be this way for a 3M as a cash and marketable securities. We have 3 manufacturing companies, 3 different inventory. By the way, the pattern of this 3 different inventory will give you insight into their inventory situation. In other words, if they keep reducing their raw material, and piling up finished goods inventory, that's a really bad sign. In other words, they are not purchasing raw material using current raw material inventory. They are making final product, finished good, but then they are not selling as much. In other words, they are waiting for economy good, but they can stop the operation using current raw material, producing more merchandise and building up their inventory. These 3-4 years of this inventory composition will create tons of a implication in very important information. That's the expense. We already know what is the balance sheet approach as opposed to income statement approach to a estimating allowance for double account. How is that different? Income statement approach doesn't care about balance the aging schedule. They based upon sales, multiply 1% to sales, and use it, and you can justify that when credit sale is smaller, a small amount compared to cash sale. Balance sheet approach is a recommended whenever you have significant portion of a credit sale, and that we already know. Account receivable write-off, you are using allowances, so account receivable credit, debit allowances, using allowances to write off, so you will have after write-off, before write-off, because of the allowance, 97, 100, after the write-off, because you already set up allowances, ending balance of net realizable value will be 97, 100, before, after, needs to be same, because of this system. This is for the some other non-accounting measures. I don't think we need it. So increase and decreases at this point. Just review the T account, and then we will right here, account receivable, allowance to the outflow account, 4.2, 4.5. Credit losses with lease receivable, 7.6, 7.2, and credit losses, 7.0 and 6.8 looks reasonable. One way or the other, gap approach. Collectability of customer account, regularly review adequacy of this allowance by considering internal factors, historical experience, credit quality, age of the account receivable balance, which is aging schedule. So this is consistent with a balance sheet approach of estimating allowance for a doubtful account. So here, carry on. This will be beginning balance next year. Add them up, allowance, use them up, and ending balance. Since you use more than setting up, here you assign 90, use 60. So you maintain similar level of a allowance for a doubtful account if you look at year to year changes. Same thing here. Beginning balance, and this ending balance, write-off, a provision, write-off, translation adjustment, ending balance will be beginning balance next year, and here, beginning balance next year, and year over year, it changes, including provision, write-off, and foreign currency translation adjustment and others here. Again, 2011, 2012, the dollar value is different. That's why you see this here. Income shifting. This sounds really unhealthy, to say the least. Income shifting. You are shifting your income if you don't get credit. If you want to increase your income, you shift cost shifting. So income shifting, cost shifting, two items that we have to watch out. In other words, using accrual basis of accounting, you can easily shift cost to the future period by making adjustment, allocation. Oh, this year maintenance cost, this is a multi-year asset. Why don't we take much less maintenance expense? And since this is a brand new, you assign most of the maintenance expense in the future period. Meaning cost shifting, increasing income this period. Income shifting, cost shifting, evidence of honest management. And this is the official term. this income in one or more subsequent periods, reduced income. Income has thus been shifted, borrowed from future period into the current period. They are borrowing income from future. And they say same thing for social security. We are paying this social security. We are borrowing money from future generations. Same thing. We already know account receivable turnover, sales over average. Average account receivable, average, and average collection period. And we already know that. And average collection period plus average selling period of inventory, if you add them up, that will be defined as average collection period of accounts receivable plus average sales period in inventory. If you add them up, that will be operating cycle, cash cycle, operating cycle, and we determine that as what? To determine whether that's a current item, non-current item, we use that period. So for retail industry, that's a 3-4 months. So 1 year or operating cycle, whichever is longer will be used. So 1 year is longer than a 3-4 months always, so we simply use a 1 year. But for a manufacturing of wine industry, operating cycle could be 3, 4, 5 years, depending upon a cycle, a cash cycle, average collection period. Now, turnover slowed, accounts receivable turnover slowed. At least you have a 3 different alternative explanations. Seller can extend his credit term. So you are collecting slow. The denominator is accounts receivable. Denominator will grow, and then a ratio will go down. So it simply has nothing to do with the overall economy. Seller extend a credit term. Seller can take longer paying customer. Oh, well, in order to compete with the rival company, they are offering the net 90 days. So I am offering now net 90 days, offering longer paying customer. Seller can take an increase in allowance provision. Increase in allowance provision. So the alternative explanation is it's not all, well, if this goes down, oh, something bad with the economy or something bad with their operation. Can be genuinely the other alternative explanation. Turnover, important dimension of efficiency, performance. So manager internal performance goal as well as by the market. The asset utilization is sales over asset. How many times realized sale can cover average balance of your asset? Higher the better. And what's the problem with current approach? Asset, the turnover. The total asset can include idle asset, unproductive asset, uncontrollable asset, which may not be objective measure for manager. If I can control, I shouldn't be held subject. I shouldn't be held for responsibility for these ratios because I don't have any control over central asset. But they are assigning central asset to me. Compute ROA. Look, I don't have any say in using those assets. Why should I include those assets into my denominator? That will demotivate managers right away. And that's very, as long as we are using assets in performance management, we should be using a productive, use controllable asset. Otherwise, that's not going to work. You will see turnover, employee turnover, manager turnover. Average collection period, 40 days, 30-some days as opposed to Google, close to 60 days. Intel, and well, we explain the nature of the product. Collection period for why biotechnology here, pharmaceutical, has healthcare equipment, why they have longer a collection period? What's the common thread here? Three industries.
Healthcare,
Government reimbursement?
Reimbursement. You have to wait for the reimbursement.
Insurance.
Insurance reimbursement. So this explains insurance reimbursement. And when they reimburse, you must have full documentation, right? That's why it takes this much of time. And that's what? Well, cash billing, right? Credit card, most of the time. Inventory. Account receivable, we saw many times. Inventory, different costing methods. IFRS, thank God, doesn't allow LIFO. that will eliminate half of our work in this area. US GAAP, I don't think they will eliminate, because some industries prefer to have a LIFO to reduce their tax obligation in inflation. Balance sheet, well, depending upon the cost flow assumption. The idea is this. We have two concepts. Fiscal flow of inventory as opposed to cost flow assumption. These are two different things. In the IFRS, these are same. No LIFO, same. As you purchase, you are selling old one first, you record that on the book. But not here. In US GAAP, cost flow assumption, depending upon your assumption, how much of cost of goods sold will be different. Right? LIFO. Yes, you are selling old item first. FIFO, actually you're following FIFO in the actual cost fiscal flow, but on the book, we assume we sold out new item first, cost flow assumption. In this country, let's assume you are literally using fiscal flow. Somewhere in West Virginia, your uncle has a cold market. This is a January pile, February pile. Each month, you have a pile. You have to use here 5. Literally. You have to follow on the book, in every sense, you have to follow. Then, when you sell a pipe cost, you have to get in to this pile because you have to sell this one first, right? January pile. And you have another tunnel here, right? We don't do that. We don't do that. We simply assume, oh, what was the cost of a January production? 25 cents per ton. Okay, on the book, when you sell your coal, okay, if I sell 100 tons, the cost of this was $25. So I compute income based upon cost, January cost. This is my assumption. I assume cost of goods sold will be old file. But if we have to use literally same thing, we have to think it. Can you imagine you are using LIFO for fruit stand? You're selling nothing but fresh fruit. You have a stack of rotten fruit in the warehouse. You don't do that. We always follow FIFO, but on the book, assumption is we sold out new one first. Although we are selling out new an old one first, on the book we are saying, oh, we just sold out the new one because this is the LIFO. These are two different. And they don't understand. Outside of this country, if you go to somewhere in Asia, try to explain LIFO. You say, what? 2002, 2013 academic year, Singapore University. In terms of undergrad, I never had that kind of a homogeneous. Out of 30 students, about half of them, more than half of them passed they're seniors, honorary seniors. Half of them pass CFA first stage. It's not easy while you're doing coursework, and I just answered the question. And when I explain this LIFO, they just lost. Look, we don't have that. So I take a lot of time to explain. You can do two different things here. So that is a cost flow assumption. And in this country, it is 100% a perfectly legal and can provide this a alternative. Labor, overhead, going back to manufacturing accounting, we already know these are prime costs, right? These two are conversion costs, right? Prime cost, raw material, direct labor, direct material, that's the prime cost. This one is conversion cost. And we already know how to come up with cost of goods manufactured. Instead of cost of goods sold, in manufacturing environment, we are asked to find out cost of goods manufactured. Inventory, ending inventory, and all the costs included. So cost of goods sold computation, and this cost of goods sold is simply this beginning inventory plus inventory purchase produced, but this purchase is net purchase, right? So gross purchase minus purchase discount, purchase allowance, purchase return, purchase rebate. After you subtract all these contract purchase, that is net purchase, and you add them up, what amount? Here, you add them up, what amount? You subtract return allowance and discount, but what do you add them up here? Transportation cost will be added on here. Transportation cost for seller, it is the period of selling expense. For buyer, manufacturer, then the purchase cost of inventory will be capitalized. So that will increase your purchase cost, transportation in. And ending inventory, whatever you have in warehouse or a shop, and that is assumed to be sold, cost of goods. And beginning, ending inventory here, beginning and ending inventory, cost of goods sold. We know total merchandise available, this is that. And whatever is left over here, ending inventory, difference must be sold out. So that's how we compute a FIFO, LIFO, another name for FIFO? Anyone know another name for FIFO? First in, first out. See, if you talk to really older accountant, I guess I'm dating myself. The last thing I want to do, first in, first out. So last in, still here, right? Yeah, last in, still here. And last in, first out, LIFO, first in, still here. Fish. If some old accountant with gray hair says fish, that's LIFO. Don't be surprised, just LIFO. They will say fish. Yeah. Leash, FIFO. Don't ask questions. That was a term that just, you know, average cost. There are two average costs. Two average costs. One is under perpetual inventory system, moving average. Under periodic inventory system, weighted average. So on the weighted average periodic inventory system, you have one average cost, but every time you purchase brand new a layer of inventory, under perpetual inventory system, you have a moving average cost, right? Moving. So two different weighted average. So FIFO inventory costing. Well, here I think once and for all. It's been a while since we review, so we'll do a periodic perpetual LIFO FIFO. Well, weighted average will be in between, so we don't have to worry about it. So we'll go over this quickly to make sure we are on the same page with keep extra copy for someone who's not here. Got it.
No, they're gonna. Oh. But if you want Spanish.
Yeah, okay. Well, we do have the handout. So let's do this. Let's find out first. FIFO cost of goods sold ending inventory under perpetual. This is the perpetual. Perpetual. First FIFO, and this is the cost of goods sold and ending inventory. Ending inventory. And cost of goods sold, perpetual. In other words, you have beginning inventory 20 units at $6 per unit, and $7 per unit, 20 purchase, the inflation. Sales 30 units, purchase another 30 units at $8 per unit, and another sale at the end of the October, 20 units. So how many units left? 20 units. Purchase, total available sales, sales. And if you subtract, then you have 20 unit ending units left. So, perpetual FIFO computation first. For cost of goods sold will be perpetual first in, first out. So, for sales, October 10 sales, you will say 30 units, 20 units came from beginning inventory, 6 plus 10 units came from 7. October 5th layer, and first in, so we have 10 units left in October 5th layer. So for this day, October 20 sale, 20 units, 10 units left from 7, another 10 coming from 8, October 15 sale, or how much was the unit price? 8. So if you do this, total cost of goods sold under perpetual FIFO would be 120, 140, 260, 80, 340. Am I okay? Come on. Okay, good. So ending inventory, what's left? What's left is 20 units left from October 15 layer, so that will be 860. So ending inventory under perpetual FIFO will be ending inventory of $160 as opposed to 360 in cost of goods. Let's do LIFO. LIFO, perpetual LIFO, cost of goods sold and ending inventory. This is a perpetual LIFO, okay? Perpetual LIFO. So at the time of October 10 sale, what's the last thing? At the time of October 10 sale, what's the last thing? October 5th, 20 multiply 7, and 10 units is coming from beginning inventory. So that takes care of October 8, October 10 sale. October 20 sale, what's the last thing? October 15. So that is 8, 20 multiplied by 8, right? what's left? Beginning inventory 6 plus October 15 a purchase 10 units at 8. So this will be 140, right? 140, and this must be then how much? 350. Thank you very much. 360. Makes sense? We are on the same page? Periodic first here, periodic here, number 1, FIFO, and this is cost of goods sold and ending inventory, first, periodic FIFO. So, periodic means you are at the end of the October, total 50 sale, 30 sale, 20 unit sale, 50 sale is top to down. You count 50 units from top to bottom. Okay, good. Cost of goods sold, 20 first in, first out. 20 multiplied by 6, and another 30 units is coming from 8. 20 multiplied by 7. What's left? A sold out 10 units multiplied by 8. So 20 units left at a price of 8. So 160. So this will be 340. Would that matter whether you are using perpetual or periodic if you use FIFO? No? Say why? Why? Periodic perpetual does not matter when you use FIFO, because we are following physical flow. We are not making any assumption. We are following physical flow. Therefore, whether we are using perpetual or periodic, we must have same cost of goods sold and the inventory, meaning same balance sheet, same income statement. Big changes coming. The periodic LIFO. Periodic LIFO. Okay, you are at the end of the period, October, and you are counting 50 units from the bottom to top, right? Bottom to top. We count 50 units from bottom to top because that is periodic, which means 50 units. First one coming from 30 units, $8. The other 20 units is coming from October 5th purchase, 20 units multiplied. 30 units coming from here. Save. Okay. 20 units from 8, 20 from $8 layer, and here remaining here, remaining 30 units. Here, 30 unit sale is coming from 10 from 8 plus 20 from 7, 8 layer here. That's why what's left? Ending inventory 20 units we didn't touch. So multiply 6, 120 is ending inventory. So this must be how much? 380. Your compensation is X percentage of net income you are reporting over and above a certain limit. What method would you stick? Would you use FIFO? If you feel like you're paying way too much tax, what method? Assuming you have a choice. Which one? Which LIFO? Periodic LIFO, because that will give you maximum cost of goods sold. We are talking about millions of dollars between this and this. $40 million. Guess how much of inventory they are carrying, depending on which cost flow assumption they are using. The difference between this and this pre-tax income will be. So we say ending inventory difference between FIFO and LIFO, this one. 120, 140, 40 million here, different. In this case, this is a 20 million. We say this is LIFO reserve. This is the LIFO reserve here, different. And this is the LIFO reserve. Why LIFO reserve is important? If you stop buying inventory, use old layer, you will report extra income because you are charging lower unit cost to cost of goods sold. Therefore, we say the difference between income difference between FIFO and LIFO in this case $20 million, in this case $30 million, also called FIFO income, FIFO phantom profit, not real profit, accounting profit, but this is a FIFO phantom profit, which is coming from LIFO reserve.
So if you were to compare two companies that they use like same industry, but they use different methods, so you need to take into account that.
Yes. This will be really conservative accounting. This will be very producing very liberal earnings because our example, they are producing $20 million, $40 million more income. FIFO income. We say FIFO phantom profit.
Can you explain the FIFO phantom profit?
Oh, okay. So if I change it from LIFO to FIFO, assuming full impact at the beginning, last year I used LIFO. If I change it to a FIFO, compared to last year, my cost of goods sold will be $20 million less. Therefore, income will go up by 20 million. That 20 million increase because of accounting rule change is called FIFO phantom profit. How much in FIFO phantom profit you have? Your responsibility. Do companies are they required to use one accounting cost flow assumption? In other words, they have to use LIFO for all their products? No. Rule is different class of inventory can be used by different cost flow assumptions. In other words, we can use combination of FIFO, LIFO, average method depending upon different class of assets. That's what confusing. Because unless we know how much is something FIFO average method, it's not easy to find out pure FIFO phantom profit. If I have $1 billion of LIFO reserve, that is another source of future income because if you want to report higher income, assuming inflation, see, we always have inflation, right? Other than Japan. Japan has about 20 years of inflation. 15 years, 20 years. Most of the case, you have inflation. Under inflation, if you have LIFO reserve of $1 billion, that means you can theoretically increase your pre-tax income by $1 billion from stop purchasing brand new inventory. You're liquidating old layer. We say, if you sold out October 15 layer, we say we liquidate October 15 layer. If you keep liquidating layers, and if you wiped out your beginning inventory, then only $6 per unit will go to the cost of goods sold, which means FIFO phantom profit because of the likelihood. I didn't check a inventory figure for Dell, but I'm sure there is something. Although Dell used what? ABC? What is the ABC? Activity-based costing. Activity-based costing doesn't carry much of inventory anyway, so inventory amount will be relatively small amount, but still, we will take a look at inventory valuation. We all know now, in this one, my example covers all the computation here. So LIFO, FIFO, average method is average is what? Average is in between, right? So let's for our example, after October 5th purchase, what's the average cost of inventory? After October 5th. After October 5th. What? After October 5th, that will be 20 multiply 6 plus 20 multiply 7 over 40, right? So that will be, one unit will be $6.50. This will be average. And after October what? Ignore sales. After October 15th, you add 830 multiply 8. So you add 30. That will give you new moving average on the perpetual. LIFO, FIFO, average in between. Remember, this is a $6, $7, but we are using $6.50. So this will be in between LIFO and FIFO. So that came out to be this way. LCM. Anything you know about LCM? LCM. Mario, what is LCM?
Lower cost of market.
Yeah, how we implement that? What's the idea behind it?
That you value your stock at the market value at the end of the month.
Mm-hmm. And compared to original cost, whichever is lower will go to balance sheet cost, right? That's the idea of LCM. In other words, historical cost means doesn't matter what happened in the market, original purchase price will go to balance sheet all the way. 1929 and on, 100% historical cost. 1973, they made the first exception to historical cost accounting. This is first exception to historical cost accounting. It took what? 1930 and 73, 40 years, more than 40 years to make one exception. This was first exception.
Does the term market apply to this, or is that reserved for instruments?
Mark to market doesn't care about historical cost to cost. Similar concept, but they don't care about the cost. They are using only market value. But here, historical cost, market value, whichever is low. So we are using a historical cost here. Mark to market means everything will be based upon current market value.
And that's usually reserved for financial instruments?
Financial instrument, bond, and stock right now under IFRS, even for tangible asset like this. So that would be revaluation capital on the financial statement. Whenever this building value goes up, revaluation capital goes up. So capital size goes up, asset value goes up. So this revaluation capital will tell you how much has been increased ever since the acquisition. But here is different, lower or cost or a market. LCM, they didn't do a good job. I know this is an easy way to explain, but once again, we need to have a comprehensive look at LCM.
He's up to the For an SUV, that's a lot.
There are three different ways of recording LCM: item by item basis, group basis, total basis. We'll see how that is different and implications for financial report. Now, selling price and selling expense, I have to decode this so I can write it here. Here, ABC, here selling price, and here selling expense, and normal profit, and that will be 29, and 9, 18, and 6, 1, 4, and 3, 1, 4. So, here. So, we say selling price minus selling expense, that is a net realizable value. So this will be a ceiling. Ceiling will be the difference between selling price and selling expense, 23, a 8, a 14. And normal profit margin, if you subtract that, that is the floor. Floor will be 27, and this will be 10. So under item by item basis, here, number one, so cost you have what, 25, 4, 8, 12, replacement cost, the cost you have to pay in order to replace that item in the market. So that is 21, 5, and 15. Now, cost is this. We will compare cost, LCM, lower of cost or market. This will be the cost. What is the market then? Market is, you have to look at ceiling and floor as well. So ceiling and floor, ceiling is 23, 8, 14, 8, 27, 8, 10. So middle value of this, median value. In other words, you look at three values here. Either cost or middle value of this, whichever is lower, will be new cost. Therefore, here market will be median value of these three. Median, middle value 21, middle value 7, middle value will be 40. Cost. So LCM here will be whichever is lower. Which one is lower? Cost or market? Market is lower. Cost or market? Cost 4. Cost or cost is so total 37. Now, if you look at cost, this is a $41 million, $410 million, whichever unit is. Now, under LCM, you report $37 million instead of 41. In other words, on the market, $4 million on the average decline in your inventory price. So, debit will be inventory holding losses, $4 million or $40 million. And if you set up a contra allowances, here's the allowance for inventory fluctuation, inventory price fluctuation. Or if that is a small amount, you can direct write off here inventory, but allowance is $4 million. So this holding loss will hit your income statement because on the average market value is $4 million lower than cost you are carrying. Under item by item basis. Let's take a look at a group base. We group A and B items together because these are two, let's say, consumer electric as opposed to industrial electric equipment. These are two consumer items, this is an industrial item. So we classify two groups, group 1, A and B together, group B. So A and B, this is the individual item, this will be item by item basis. So if we do this, his cost will be 29.12 if you add them up. If you do this one, a 26.15, and this is a 31.14, add them up, 27.10, and you have this data. So what is the market? What is the market? 20. 7, middle value of this, right? And middle value of this is 14. So what is the LCM? Whichever is lower, right? 26. And here, 14. Whichever is lower. Yep. Middle value of this. We got middle value right? So compare this and this term, right? Here, a cost market is lower, and a cost market 12. So 39 is new LCM. Under group basis, how much of inventory holding losses? $2 million. Here, 39 minus 37, $2 million. So instead of $4 million charge, you are charging $2 million here under group basis. Under group basis. Same LCM. Go to footnote. Find out whether they say we are using item by item basis of LCM, group basis of LCM, total basis of LCM. They simply say we follow LCM. Let's take a look at total basis. Total. This is the group basis. This is the group basis of a LCM. This is the item by item basis and total basis. Let's see here, total basis. Number 3, total basis. Now, how much is the cost? 41. Here, 41. How much is the total 41? Here, replacement cost. If you add them up, this is the 41. How much is the ceiling? 45. How much is the floor altogether? 37. So how much is the market? Middle value? 41. So what is the LCM? 41. Did you write an inventory down? No, you still can say I use the LCM. I don't have to touch my inventory. Wouldn't that be great? In the footnote, I say I use the inventory in the LCM according to GAAP. In fact, I don't make any inventory adjustment if I use total basis of LCM. GAAP requires item by item basis or group basis. You're judging. That's the next step. We follow GAAP and we compute LCM 3 different ways. One way, total basis, doesn't require any inventory write-down. And we still can say we use LCM. And if you look at a financial footnote, they will never say which type of LCM they use. They simply say we use LCM. They don't show journal entry, so we have to figure that the worst possible scenario. If I'm under pressure, I will do this. No charge to income. If I pay too much tax, I feel like I use this to reduce my taxable income. Why not? Because I am still following GAAP.
How often can you change the thing to this?
I mean, as many times as you want, because you are not responsible for reporting this, you are not responsible for disclosing this. As long as you are using one of the three,
So you can change every year?
you can change it twice a year. In other words, this has to make sense. In other words, when you group in, this group has to be same merchandise, same kind of merchandise. In consumer item, industrial item. But if there are non-industrial, total basis. In other words, following 100% gap, we can produce quite different numbers. That's what I'm trying to say. And this example explains just that. In other words, we have to, I guess there are one more item to worry about now. Yeah.
What's in the top circle?
Inventory.
Top circle, inventory holding loss. Holding loss. By having inventory, you have loss. Does that make sense?
Maybe like a fair test question.
It's straightforward. I mean, add, subtract. I mean, everybody can add.
Yeah, I can add, I don't know
Yeah.
what.
Matter of adding some.
There you go.
Interesting question.
Yeah. Did I use input calculator? No, I did not. This is how simple this example is. I mean, this all you need is a I5 with 2-3 numbers, and so let's be careful when reading. You can guess. I mean, if there are multiple products, either they use group base, most likely group basis. If they have a few major item by item basis, a small item or lots of different merchandise, probably total basis. You can guess.
Last question.
Yes.
No.
One thing confusing me is how you got the market.
Oh, market.
Yes.
Okay, market.
But it's not always the exact middle. I don't know which middle.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's great. In other words, market.
Just pick one of the three.
Market is median value of replacement cost, ceiling, and floor. Out of these three value, market is three. Out of these three, median, middle value.
Oh, not out of cost, but just the RC.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the cost. This is only market determination. Cost will be given. You don't have to compute anything. Cost is what you pay at the beginning, and that's the first column, cost. And most likely, replacement cost will
Compare the
be
market to the cost and take it.
the median value. In any case, this replacement cost will be median value. Good. I think we should. I think we should cover these basic things to analyze our practice. So don't be misled about this. As soon as you see LCM here, lower cost of market, 3D15. LCM, this example good, but this example is comprehensive. Stick with this example. Inventory full note. Let's see how Cisco, they have a huge inventory, router and all these products. Stated LCM cost is computed using standard cost, which approximates the actual cost. First in, first out base, company providing inventory write down, access or obsolete inventory from the future demand forecast. Write down difference between cost of inventory, market base, assumption, future demand, charge to provision for inventory, which is component cost of sale. So they charge the cost of sale because that's not significant amount. At the point of loss recognition, new lower cost basis for that inventory is established, LCM. Subsequent change in fact, circumstances do not result in restoration, increasing value. In other words, what that is once you say new cost is 47, even if market value goes up, we don't write this up. According to conservatism, this is the maximum you can say now. IFRS allows up to original amount, 41 here. Once you write down, market goes up, then IFRS allow where you can write up to original cost. US GAAP, conservative. Once you write down, that's it. You stay with it. FIFO and LCM, which means inventory written down, replacement cost. Well, usually replacement cost, not always. It simply says replacement cost market. Middle value of this usually replacement cost, not always. It could be floor, it could be ceiling sometimes. Cisco's inventory total, LIFO, FIFO average cost, says income from inventory costing method. So gross profit will be a different. FIFO produced. The difference between this and this is called FIFO profit. Because of inventory, one inventory method differences, you are reporting $10,000 more, so this will be FIFO profit. Under inflation, phantom profit, we did that. Using our own example, that's a phantom profit. And holding gain, follow our example. This is for LIFO reserve, these two amount, difference between these two amount, FIFO, LIFO inventory differences, that's the LIFO reserve, we already covered that. And cash flow implication is this: using LIFO, you reduce tax obligation, save cash, increase cash flow can be used for reinvestment. That's the whole idea of online LIFO in this country. LIFO reserve, let's see how much they can manipulate future income. Having how much of a LIFO reserve, determine LIFO 60% is by total inventory, and for FIFO method had been used, inventory would have been this much inventory under FIFO. So LIFO, FIFO, the differences will be here. Use of LIFO has reduced carrying amount of 2000 inventory by because last in higher unit price has been put down. See? Difference, LIFO reserve, use the actual LIFO inventory to adjust the FIFO value. So you have to add them up to approximate how much you have been under FIFO. Cash saving, because of the 35% corporate tax rate, you pay less tax because of the more expense, cost of goods sold, less taxable income. You will, well, gross profit ratio we already know. We did that at the first day of class. Gross profit minus sales. Here, percent cost ratio is this one over this. Gross profit ratio is this one. So cost ratio is 39.9, 39.5, 35.8. That's the cost ratio and gross profit ratio. If you add these two ratios, that has to be 1 because you are using same denominator. So gross profit ratio, Cisco is more than cost. That's good. Gross profit. That's why they are spending billions on the R&D. For $100 sale, $60 is the gross profit here. Decline in gross profit. Why? Product line is a sale. See, not moving very well. Rival company enters market to substitute rival product. General decline in economic activities. Don't have much sales. Inventory is slow moving, so overstock. Gross margin. And if that is the case, manufacturing costs will probably have increased, and inventory is overstocked. Overstocked inventory has numerous additional costs. Insurance costs, warehouse costs, towing, rate, numerous. That's why EOQ is very important, and just in time is even better. Because of it. EOQ formula. Anyone remember EOQ formula? Scale 1 or 280 over quantity. That formula. That's the amount of inventory just enough not to lose your customer, but not more than what you need so that you avoid all the costs. EOQ, economic order quantity. Change in product mix. In other words, high profit margin the product is slowed down, and low profit margin product is going up. Total sales is same, but margin is going down because of change in product mix. Same as account receivable. This is well, we did that when we compute operating cycle, number of days to sell, inventory turnover, number of days to sell your inventory. Write a LIFO liquidation formula. LIFO liquidation. See, if you liquidate LIFO, what do you expect? Increasing in income. You are chipping into old layer. Old layer has a lower price. Lower price will go to cost of goods sold. Given same amount of sale, you are charging lower expense, higher income, like reserve, like liquidation. At extreme case, you are selling out beginning inventory, no stock. Then that will maximize your a LIFO liquidation profit, because you are not buying new product at higher price. Depreciation. We all know depreciation accounting. Anyone, well, some see these days they don't cover this way depreciation. We all know straight line depreciation, and straight line depreciation is the expected utility derived from that asset is constant, so you are allocating constant depreciation expense to match against the revenue you are generating using this asset. This makes sense. That is a straight line depreciation. What is the SOID method? SOID. How you compute SOID? So 5-year asset, what's the SOID? 5-year asset. Here, you have a 5-year asset. What is the SOID? SOID, 5 years. 15? Digit method, 15. SOID is a 15 for 5 years. So on exam, I say this is a 100-year asset. So what do? Take out calculator, add 1, 2, 3, 4. At 36, you make a mistake. Go back to 1. Time is ticking. And by the time you compute a 100-year SOID, exam is over. You know? What's the formula for? What's the formula for SOID? In case I give you 100-year-old asset, you know, this one is n plus 1 over 2. So if you plug in 5, let's plug in 5 to see whether we got the 15. 5 plus 1 over 2. So this is a what?
30 divided by 2 is
15. This is 3, 15, right? So if you plug in 100, how much you will get? 100. 5,050. 5,050 will be 1 all the way through 100. If you plug in 100 right here, you will get a 5,050 right away. Idea is this. How the formula came about. What is here? 1, 2, 3, and 4, 40, 9, 50, and 51, and 97, 98, 99, and 100. Okay, you have 100. How many 100 you have? 99, 1 is 100. 98, 2 is 100. How many 100 you have? 50. So 50 multiplied 105,000. In between, you have 50. So if you add this one 5,050, which is this. Who what?
No,
This is not, this is first time you did it. No, you went through this several times.
some of the years yeah, having
It's over
it
there.
explicated like that, that's the first time I've seen it done that way.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's like magic.
Right.
Who developed this? A one boy was really got bored over a summer vacation. He was playing with numbers on the board, and he saw this a relationship, and he developed this formula. The boy's name was Gauss, and he was 10 years old. 10 years old, small town in Germany, many years ago. Boy was playing around with numbers and came up with this formula. SYD. And we are using it now. So first year, this is a $10 million asset, multiply a 100 over first year depreciation is 5,050, 105,050, right? If there is a salvage value, you subtract salvage value here, multiply this fraction, this will be first year depreciation. Second year depreciation is the same, 10 million minus salvage value, here is, multiply 99 over 5,050, that will be second year depreciation, right? That's it. One form of accelerated depreciation, and that is the sum of the years digit method. We all know double declining balance method. When you compute double declining balance method, we don't take out salvage value, we multiply total physical cost. Useful life, salvage value, depreciation. See? 5-year asset without salvage value, what is the depreciation rate? Percentage. 40%. Double declining balance method, 40%. Or 30% if they use 150% declining balance method. This is, Michael, you should be very comfortable with this area, right?
I don't do taxes, so I just do straight my own.
Yeah, but you don't have 100-year-old assets, you should be okay.
Hopefully not, right? There's no courses.
But from using this financial statement, analyzing this part of financial statement, you have to exercise really a careful judgment as to the quality of the asset. That's it. Quality of asset will determine quality of earnings. You can report solid earnings if you have a poor quality of asset. That's it. Account receivable, if you overly optimistic about collection, you are blowing up your account receivable and you are reducing asset expense overstating your income. Poor quality of asset produce poor quality of income. Period. Yeah. So this has to be accelerated. There are many different accelerated double declining balance. I'm not going to even bother because it's twice as much as second depreciation. Earlier years, more depreciation because expected drive or utility from that asset bring more benefit to the company in earlier years. That's why we are using accelerated method. In past, they are using MACRS, right? What is the MACRS?
Modified accelerated.
Yeah, you all know because and computer is what your property? Is it 5 years? 5 years. Computer is 5 years, and 5 years, 7 years, and all this.
You see, every place I go, they always use straight line for financial.
99%, yes,
They use this other stuff in tax.
yes,
And then they do the M1 rec.
yeah. reconciliation, and that's why you have different tax liability.
Yeah. There we go. And then we go back to the beginning of the question.
That's why you
Way to bring it back there,
We're
Michael.
bringing it all the way back.
You are reporting higher EPS. Why you are reporting higher EPS? You pay less tax. Best of both worlds. Yeah. US GAAP. You should be impressed with US GAAP is just amazing. I don't think we need to go over it. Yes, this is double decline back method. This is what? No salvage value. We don't take salvage value. Instead of 20%, you multiply 40%, so 40,000. Remaining book value, 60,000, 40%. So that at that point, all the way down until salvage value is greater than. So here, if salvage value is 2,000, finite year depreciation would be 960 because you don't depreciate salvage value. That's what it is. Straight line and double decline balance method, yes, same result, but cash allocation will be different. Earlier year, more depreciation as opposed to same, but total undiscounted cash flow has to be same. What? Say. What's the another name for salvage value? Residual value. Salvage value, residual value. Another name. Scrap value. Another name. Terminal value. So these four, residual, salvage, terminal, scrap value, identically used, interchangeably used. Asset sale would be book value proceeds from sale, gain or losses, and that would be a asset impairment. The asset impairment. This is a huge. I think I shared my research result the other day. This asset impairment. Once again, whenever you analyze this part of the financial statement, you have to look at three aspects. Timing. Why now? And extent. How much? And nature of it. Is it layout? Is it eliminating redundant facilities? You have to answer these three questions whenever you see asset impairment. Because if you look at these three carefully, motivation will come. And why they are doing this. And here, sum of undiscounted future cash flow, which is the net book value of the asset, yes or no. And in this case, why undiscounted once again? Why undiscounted? Discounted must be right? Why undiscounted? Another point that FASB, whenever they faced with the measurement issue, they take easy way out. In other words, if they ask them to use discounted cash flow, everyone will use different discount rate.